Alright guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to start out by taking the Nova here. We're going to drop the fuel tank out of it and go ahead and got some JB Weld fuel tank repair stuff here. We're going to go ahead and start out by trying to repair the fuel tank so that it can actually hold fuel. We've done a couple little tests here and there with it, kind of getting a ballpark of how it's going to do traction wise. Both of those tests we didn't have very much fuel in it. We only had about 4 gallons. So it's still hooked up pretty decent, so hopefully once we get a full tank in it, get some more weight back there, it'll hook up better. But yeah, that's going to be our project for today, so let's go ahead and get started. It looks like our fuel leak right there. It's just that easy. It's just that easy. All right, got the fuel tank off. Found all my nuts and bolts. The only thing I'm missing now is a hose clamp. Dropped it somewhere. Can't find it here in the grass yet, so I'll find it here in a minute off the camera. But overall, getting it off, pretty good first step. So get it back out here in the sun where you guys can see better, and we'll get to repairing on it then. All right guys, got this thing out of the car. Still has a couple gallons of gas in it. So I went and robbed a fuel cell out of one of my dad's rigs so that I can catch some of this fuel at the very least, because the price of fuel right nowadays, can't afford to let any of it go to waste. So I'll try pour as much of this as possible in there. Alright guys, got this taken off, got it all cleaned up now. Before, we had a bit of a moisture area somewhere in this area. I went in and cleaned it up, found this spot. I don't know if you can see it. Right there. Looks kind of porous-y in the center of that. I'm hoping that I've put some of that sealant over these 2 little spots here. That'll hopefully take care of the spot leak in the center. Over here at the right, this is where the big leak was, as you can tell. It was covered up by rust then, so you couldn't see how bad it was, and it was also probably the rust was helping keep the hole tight. So we'll put some of that sealant over here, right there, and we'll just kind of rub some on it in a couple other places just to try and help. Like, there might have been a little bit of moisture over here. We'll probably put some right there so that we can try and keep as much of the gasoline in the fuel tank as possible. I don't want 100%, but 90 would be good enough. So we'll go ahead and try and seal those up here. So I got to thinking about it. While I have the fuel tank out, I decided I'm going to go ahead and try and clean up around the filler neck as well. Make sure that there's not any leaks there. Obviously there's a little bit of fuel on the top side here, but like I said, that's the top side, so hopefully that won't be an issue. I really don't want to go ahead and start putting sealant all on the top side in case I ever do decide I want to pull that out, because then it'll be an absolute bear of a job. So for today, we're just going to go ahead and go with it. Alright guys, so we got our epoxy putty stuff mixed up and we got it applied down onto here. Sorry I didn't catch it on video. I thought I hit the record button. Obviously I didn't, but so I've been on here about 4 minutes already and it's already getting hard. The stuff says it takes 5 minutes to set, an hour to cure as well. Over here there was no leak or moisture, but I went ahead and cleaned it off where the fuel strap goes just to go ahead and see what it looked like. There was pitting. Pitting obviously becomes before the rust hole, so I went ahead and put some over top of it to hopefully try and prevent another leak from coming in over here. And my dad recommends windshield urethane. He's used that to seal up a couple fuel tank leaks. So once this sets here in about an hour, I'll go get some windshield urethane. I got it over here warming up in the sun. I'll come get it. I'll put it over this as well so it has an extra layer. I don't see how it could hurt anything, so might as well go ahead and give it a shot, give it a little extra chance. So that's the plan. Alright, I also figured while this is drying, this would be a good time to go ahead and air up this tire. Alright, that's one last thing to get done. Alright, let's see what this thing looks like. That's it. There. Oh, that's nice and solid. Awesome. Alright. Only about another 55 more minutes to go and we'll be done. Alright guys, we are back. It's been about 2 hours or so, and go ahead and let you listen to this. That stuff is hard as a rock, so it's had time to cure. Now I'm going to take some, like my dad suggested, do some this windshield urethane. I'm going to go ahead and do a layer over the top of this so that it has an extra layer. He's sealed gas tanks with this before, so I don't see what it would hurt to have an extra layer. anyways, it doesn't say on the container how long it takes to cure, but it's on there. It'll dry when it dries. So now, we'll wait for it to dry. Once that's done, we install the tank, and it should be good then. At this point. So we got our 2 repairs there, and our 1 preventative, and also we got some little preventative there to hopefully prevent that from ever leaking when it goes in. So anyways, we'll give this time to dry, and we'll come back to it.